This is Carl at National RV. I'm going to walk you through this 2025 Raptor Carbon Series trailer. The model number is 29.
Truly are the experts. Never in Dad's
Okay.
wildest dreams
So this is a walkthrough video or a how-to video. I'm just going to show you some of the features. Okay. So we'll start here. We obviously have power stabilizers on the rear. A very large awning.
Now is the time to sell at A-Style Jewelers.
This here. Oh, let's look. This is a quick connect for the LP system. If you want to add a gas appliance on, you plug it in right there. You also have a TV hookup or TV mount and some power and signal out right here. Okay. Now you have two cranks here. The smaller one, or the 3/4 inch one, you can use. Let me start this way. The power tongue jack, if it happens to fail for any reason at all, you can pull this plug right out of the top here, and you can use a 3/4 inch crank or socket, whichever you have, and you can actually operate this manually in an emergency. Okay. Now, if you look at the power stabilizers, if I can get down here to them, you see there's on the off door side, there's a shaft with a pin through it right there. Okay, so they give you a special crank right here that is a cylinder with a slot cut in it, if you can see that. Okay, that fits right over that shaft with the pin, and you can actually crank the stabilizers manually if in an emergency. If you have for some reason you have a problem with them,
nice saddles. You
can still crank them and get yourself out of trouble. So you can do that with the tug jack, also with the stabilizers. Okay. All right. So while we're here, there's a kill switch for your solar. Okay. This is your solar controller. Now this uses an app on your phone. So it takes a 6-digit code to log into your app. So I just want to show you. You can sort of see it over here on the other side of your app, or I'm sorry, on the other side of your solar controller. There's those two pieces of paper stuck on there. Well, one of them has a 6-digit code along the bottom. So if you can stick your camera around there and take a picture of it so you can see it, that's how you get your code. So you'll have that 6-digit number. Then you'll, of course, you'll download the Victron Energy app from whichever store you go to, Apple or Google, and you'll pick it out of the list when you turn it on, and when you boot it up, you'll or open it up, you'll pick your device from the list, and then you'll punch in your 6-digit code. First thing you'll see, if you look in the upper right hand corner, there'll be a red dot. I think it's red. I think it's a red dot. It's a dot anyway, and if you see that, you can click on it and it'll ask you to upgrade or update your software, okay, or firmware. So always do that to keep it up to date. You always want it up to date, and so you'll be able to see everything you need to know, the DC voltage in the system. You'll be able to see how much energy you're getting from the sunlight and converting it to electricity, and how much is being stored in your battery, all kinds of stuff. So it's a very capable system when it comes to even if you flip over to the second page, it even gives you your history. I mean, it's very, very detailed, so you can learn as little as you want or as much as you want about it, but you have to download the app, so keep that in mind. This thing is just telling you it's prepped for a tire monitor. That's all that top box is there. Okay. All right. Okay. So, two ways to get water. Obviously, the trailer. This is a city water hookup. you're just going to hook the hose on there and you're all set, right? If camping someplace where you don't have city water, you're boondocking or whatever reason you don't have city water, you can pre-fill your fresh water tank here and then use the onboard pump to pump the water. Excuse me. You'll all the plumbing will work as though you have city water. You'll just be pumping it from the tank though. So of course if you have city water you don't have to worry about the pump or any of that. So you just have two options. Okay, let me walk back up here for a second because I didn't finish. I showed you the switch in the front compartment to shut off the solar controller, to disconnect the panel from it. This is just for your battery here. So this is the quick connect or quick disconnect for your battery, and so you just turn that knob and you can shut it off, and you know, you don't have to take one of the cables off or anything like that. You can just shut it right off. Outside shower / sprayer, of course your gray and black tank dump valves here. All right, this is a black tank flush. So after you dump your black tank, if you leave the valve open, the black tank valve open, the dump valve, but you hook your hose onto here at the dump station, you turn it on, it'll spray out the black tank and flush it out really well, clean off the sensors so you get a good accurate reading from them, that sort of thing. But like it says on the sticker, you always want your black tank valve open before you turn on the water to this, because you don't want too much pressure to build up, so keep that in mind. Okay. This here is telling us that you got on-demand hot water, which is a great thing. Obviously it's off right now, but that's the on-off master switch, so keep that in mind. It's on. I'll show you when we get inside how it works, but that shuts it on and off. This is your pressure release valve. Never pull it or never allow anybody to pull it while the water is hot. Obviously you don't want to scald yourself or cause problems, so you don't really need to be messing with it at all. It's just a safety device that will obviously it will vent the water out if it gets too hot. Okay. Then for your furnace, you got a 50 amp system here, so you got a 50 amp shore cord. I'm not seeing, it's not plugged in because we don't have a, oh, here's one right here. Okay, I don't know what's going on with that, but we'll plug this in for you. Try to do this with one hand. Hopefully I can. Okay, so this reduces this to 30 amp, of course, which is well, you're going to need it sometimes. It's good to have a reducer just because you never know if the place your camp is going to have 50 amps. Okay, so your fill for your gasoline, there's your gauge. Here's your handset for the pump. Okay. Now this is, you can see this has a backup camera on it. Okay. Also, while we're looking up, the manufacturer states you should inspect your roof every 90 days. So you want to have somebody check it out. Make sure there's no, there's no damage caused by low branches or road debris flying up there, or no problem with the sealant where water could get through, anything like that. Odds are you won't have to do anything for years, but you can't see what's happening up there unless you look. So every 90 days is what the manufacturer recommends. Okay. I'm not going to open your back door, your garage door. We'll do that when you pick up, because I only have one hand to use here because I got to hold the camera. So we'll do that for you. Let's go inside and see what we have. Okay. First thing we see when we come in, this is your carbon monoxide LP gas detector. It should always be green like it is. If it's not green, get it serviced immediately. Don't put it off. They're not expensive. Just get it replaced. Here's your control panel, obviously. So here's your power awning switch here. Never leave the awning out unattended. If you're not going to be at the campsite, roll it in. Your lights, of course. Your water pump we talked about for pumping water out of the fresh water tank. It's also used to winterize the trailer also. And then you have of course your battery charged, and you have we put water in the freshwater tank for your demo, and of course your gray tank and your black tank and that sort of thing. Your thermostat, which is self-explanatory, it works like they all do. The thing is, if they give you an option, always run the fan on auto. You can see it's just an analog. 1 click to the right is heat, 2 clicks to the left is air conditioning, 1 click to the left is the fan. Just the air conditioner running without the compressor. So, okay. Alrighty, so you got a 12 volt DC refrigerator, 12 volts DC. Below here is your power converter. So this converts AC to DC power. So when you're plugged into shore power, you got 110 or 120 AC here at these circuit breakers, and they're all labeled. Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC on this side. So you see you got 12 volt DC fuses, plus they're labeled. So that's where you get your DC power from. Also, it's a battery tender, so it'll sense, if you're plugged into shore power, it's going to sense how much energy your battery has and needs, and it'll send as much energy necessary to keep your battery charged also. So when you're plugged into shore power, this will charge your battery. When you're pulling down the road, your tow vehicle charges the battery, and your solar panel charges it as it can, depending on the conditions outside, you know, with the sun and the clouds and the position of the trailer in relationship to the sun and all those other factors, okay? Alright. Always keep this latch when you're traveling so the doors don't get dented. Range hood with a light and a fan. Your microwave works like any other microwave. Your keys are hanging right here on the sink, kitchen sink. Now, let me see here. So this, I'm not sure if he has the gas on or not, but this sparks the light. You just turn the sparker clockwise to light it. I don't know if he's got it turned on or not. Yeah, he does. So right there. Very simple. The oven's a little bit different in that you've got a pilot light down here at the bottom. So you're just going to turn the knob on the far right, go to the pilot light, you push it in, you depress it, you keep it that way while you're lighting it, you spark it till you see it light down here. Once it lights, you're still holding this in, so you hold it in for another 10 or 15 seconds to heat the thermocouple up so it'll stay lit, and then you go to operating temperature, of course. When you shut it off, the flame goes out, but so does the pilot light, so you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Always travel with this in the down position, but never put it down while the burners are hot, of course. Alright. Sound is, it has a USB drive on it, so you could, take your MP3s with you. It has a Bluetooth, so you can stream from your phone or tablets, whatever you have. AM/FM radio. 2 speaker zones. A is inside, B is outside. It has an HDMI in. If you have a TV here and you want to, you want to go into the TV with a portable Blu-ray player or something, that would be a reason to use the HDMI in. So you have that. Also, keep in mind that the reason this is green, this telling us that the digital antenna is on. You can shut it off, but you won't get a good signal. So you always want that on when you're using the antenna. When it comes to your bunk and everything, like I said, we can talk to you when you pick up. It's very simple. You just pull down on it and it compresses the hydraulics and it'll move down to the next level here. And then of course these will fold right up onto the wall, so you can pull your whatever you have in here, your bikes or your four-wheelers or whatever you have. It also will fold down, even these backs will roll over one more time and turn this into a double bed also. And of course it's a place to just to sit and socialize and eat and that sort of thing. Great chairs. To me, I mean, a lot of chairs have the big recliners, or a lot of RVs have the big recliners and that sort of thing, but these are great chairs. They're great for your back too. Trust me. Okay. So, Here we have the on-demand water system. So it's on right now. We'll just start it by shutting it down. Okay, so we turn it on. 124 is what it's telling us. That was just telling us how it's set. Normally it's set at 120, so that's where I'll put it. So the water is going to heat to 120 and stay there. This just changes it, this loop, or what would you call it? Anyway, this changes from Celsius to Fahrenheit. That's all it does. So to light it now, all I have to do is turn on the hot water. Now I've got the 10. I have to see what he's got going here because I've got the water pump in, but I'm not sure where we're at with this. Okay, let me find out here before I say anything else. Let me see if the water up here is turned on. I did not prep this one, so I'm just flying blind here. Okay. I tell you what, I'm not going to just, because I only have a half hour to get this video done before it starts a new file, so we'll go over this when you pick up, rather than me diagnose what's wrong now. I assume he's got the water shut off. It's not hooked up to the city water, but I've got the water pump on, and it shows there's water in the tank, so I'm not sure what's going on, but I'll find out by that time. So, okay, the toilet works like all RV toilets. It sits over a black tank. You got a flush pedal. You put a dose of chemical and at least a gallon of water in before you start using it. You can use more than a gallon of water. Don't use less. If you don't use chemical in water, it'll get clogged up. It'll just be a real mess. So you always want to, if it's been flushed and you show up at the campground and you got a flushed black tank, you always after you hook up to everything, you put a dose of chemical in there and at least a gallon of water. Okay, and if you're going to stay for another week, but you had to dump your tank, for example, your black tank, you dump the black tank, then because you're staying for another week, you'd repeat that procedure. At least a gallon of water and a dose of chemical. So that's important, obviously. It's one mistake you'll only make once if you don't do it. So this, I see what it is. It's a ladder. Anyway, this is a telescoping ladder. I have to. Oh, that's to get up on the bunk. That's right. Okay, so this to get up on your bunk with. It slows sometimes, but I eventually catch up. The rest of it is self-explanatory. You have a closet. This emergency window, I'll show you because I'm supposed to here. You just push it through. It would go all the way through. Then you grab this knob, this red knob, and pull the screen out, and you can escape in an emergency. They all work pretty much the same. There'll be some storage under your bed. You got a second air conditioner here. That's why it's a 50 amp system. So this AC has the controls right on the unit, as you can see. This room will definitely get, I'm sure it's a 13.5, I would imagine, so it'll get nice and cool in here. There's no doubt about that. Okay, so let me look around, see if I forgot anything. Okay, I think we've got it. Okay, so I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. We'll go over the deck and the fencing and all that stuff and the bunks when you pick up. I'll also show you the on-demand water system, so we'll take care of that also. Okay. Remember to always check your roof every 90 days. That's important. And right now this system has no antifreeze in it. It's all fresh water, so you're all set for the summer. Okay. Thank you.